Great rising, great being, great eating. Depending on what part of time this reaches you. Peace, love, and blessings to everybody. Sending peace, love, and blessings to everybody. Hope everybody's in a good mood, good spirits. If not, I have you in my thoughts and my prayers, and I wish you the best. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone that you care about. Today's topic, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more ranting than more so a set topic. But as always, it could be taken as a testimony, because a lot of my videos are testimony of me, my journey, and the things that, God has allowed me to download and process. And of course, I share these things to plant seeds, and hope that you're encouraged to kind of apply it however it is you can, or apply whatever it is that resonates with you on this day that this video crosses your path. So I kind of want to touch on relationships. I really don't do that much, but I think it's a good time to do that. A lot of the times I don't touch on relationships because it's so touchy, and it could create a biasness there, because when I'm speaking about me and self in relationship with God, it's not really a slippery slope as far as biasness. But when you get into relationships, it's always two sides, it's always two perspectives. But in this instance, I feel like on this set topic, I can speak for all parties in relationships. And what that is kind of ties into patience, but more so being aware of the other's needs outside of yours. And I think that's important, because not only does it translate within relationships, it just translates in life. And I honestly think that's where we kind of lack in humanity in general. I think that sometimes we lack in all relationships, but specifically as far as spouses and significant others and partners. Sometimes you have to kind of remove your expectations of your needs to be able to supply your other with their needs. And I say this because a lot of times when you're so focused on your needs and what your expectations are, it kind of takes away your focus and kind of distracts you from their needs. And then it becomes this tug of war on who needs is more relevant or more important in whatever time frame that you guys may be on. And I think a lot of times companionship is lost, intimacy is lost, trust is lost. All those things that is the beauty and togetherness in this regard, relationships, marriage, that whole ideal. And I'm sorry, I had a blank trying to think of the right word. That whole ideal and, oh, there we go, mindset of what it could be and what it could represent gets so lost and gets so misconstrued, because it becomes a war game. It literally becomes a tug of war. Relationships are supposed to flow, they're supposed to go, and it's not always supposed to be flowing in a certain direction. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, you're going to have the days when things go left, you're going to have the days when things go right, and sometimes you're going to have days when things aren't going at all. But see, that's the beauty of what this message is today, because see, when you put aside your expectations that you place on the others, and you pick up your expectations that you're supposed to bring into the relationship, no matter how you're flowing in regards as a team, or if you're not flowing, What it is you're opening a lane and you're creating space for things to breathe. You know, relationships have to breathe. You know, everything requires oxygen, and in this instance, I feel like relationships require oxygen. You have to give each other air, and I'm not necessarily saying space. What I'm saying is sometimes our expectations that we put on each other smother each other to the point that you can't even appreciate the relationship, let alone appreciate your significant other or allow them to appreciate you. So the importance of, you know, letting up on expectations in relationships is to create room and space for things to breathe so you guys can remain hopeful, positive, remain faithful to each other in the present and moving forward no matter what obstacles you run into, because each relationship that you're in or that you have is going to automatically come with obstacles, because that's life. But a lot of times in relationships, we create obstacles. We create more obstacles than, you know, life and God intended for us to endure, all because of our personal expectations or our way of seeing and doing things. And you know, to be fair, it's not always about you. It's not always this me mentality. Sometimes you just have to really, you know, put pride to the side, you know, and really understand and listen and communicate, not for your point, not for what you expect, but for what the other person's needs are, because it's a relationship. It takes two to create a healthy codependency and a healthy companionship that can be long term. Another thing is too, with these expectations in relationships, you got to ask yourself personally, and you have to check yourself about your expectations, and are they realistic? Are you giving your partner realistic expectations to uphold? Are you giving them something that they can truly reach, not reach for you, but keep in mind that what's in reach for them personally? Because we all have our pros, we all have our cons. So sometimes in relationships, what happens is we give our significant other impossible tasks. We give them impossible goals to reach in regards to our expectations. So sometimes you have to let go of what your expectations are, just to look at them yourself. Is this something you can do? And keep in mind, just because it's something you can do, that does not mean it's something that your significant other can do. Or if they can do it, they're not ready for it. They're not in the proper position. They haven't had the space to breathe, to understand what it is you're asking of them, or what it is you're requiring, to keep the flow, or to keep you guys in a sense of togetherness. Another thing too, when you're stepping back and you're asking yourself about your own expectations, another thing you might want to think about and you might want to ask yourself is, again, like I said earlier, where did this expectation come from? Because sometimes, not all the times, but I'm gonna say most of the time, our expectations come from trauma response. It comes from a lack of what we experienced in the last relationship, or previous relationships, or previous partnerships and situations that we've endured from other people, other relationships, that has nothing to do with the current person that matters to you, and the current relationship that you know that you're building. And when you come in like that, what you're doing is you're creating a faulty foundation from the jump. So not every time is it your partner's fault that, you know, you're not doing this right, or you can't seem to keep up with this and this and that. No, what it is you already came in with expectations that has nothing to do with that person. Therefore, how could they understand? They don't know necessarily what it was for you that you dealt with from the last person, because they're not the last person. So sometimes we notice things, or we're triggered by our next person, and it puts us a mindset that we had with the last person. And see, that right there is another thing that could be detrimental to such a beautiful thing as in regards to relationships, companionships, and partnerships, because you have to be honest with yourself and do the work within yourself to create space and room for the new. You know, a lot of times we don't even go into situations fully positive or fully open-minded, nor do we go in there with an open heart. Sometimes we're closed off, our minds are shut off, and we're just looking to pick at and pinpoint what things just trigger us and what things remind us of our past just because we don't want to relive it. But again, that's a you thing. That's not necessarily your partner's thing, your spouse's thing, your husband's thing, your wife's thing. But what we can do together, what we can do as a collective, is make sure we're having the realistic conversations that need to be had, both prior to getting into these relationships and partnerships and marriages, and in the duration of these relationships, partnerships, and marriages. Because true companionship comes with so much. It comes with love, it comes with patience, it comes with gratitude, it comes with so many things that, again, if you're just worried about the expectations and worried about, your partner doing their duties, or even you can be so caught up in doing your duties, you blind yourself from missing out on all the other things that you can give attention and focus to. So I just wanted to make this video with that in mind, for anybody out there that's in a relationship, that's in a partnership, that's in a marriage, and things may be shaky, or things may not be going or flowing in the way you would like them, or you starting to have doubts and question who your partner or who your significant other is before you make drastic decisions, before you trauma response, before you give up, before you give in to temptation in other regards that may jeopardize your relationship. Think about some of the stuff that I'm speaking about in this video. Then take a second to breathe, and then maybe go over it with your significant other. Matter of fact, share this video with your significant other, regardless if you're going through this moment or this season that I'm speaking on or not, because it could be a preventative thing that help you guys along the way. So, as always, never give up, never settle though. Never settle. Again, you got to take things to God and be discerned with, when a person is really trying to do things, when a person is really trying to hear you, trying to understand, trying to work things, trying to get, this, match your energy in regards to, the things that I'm speaking about in this current video. But never give up, never settle. Always be yourself. Always be true to yourself. Always love yourself. One love. God loves you. And remember, life is beautiful when you allow it to be.
Yeah.
Rich, why you do to nigga like that?
Yeah. Oh man, so plain. Look, Kevin Hart, so much pain. Trying to build it up. Success comes, then some sex comes. Niggas always fucking up. Yeah, but niggas always looking up. Thank you, God, I'm looking up. You bless me good, can't fuck this up.